Hey guys, so today we are driving a 2007 Golf GTI. The reason why I'm not on the bike and won't be on the bike for quite a while is because I quite literally just had dick surgery. So what that means is that, well, at least my doctor told me that I shouldn't be riding my bike for at least 2 months. So here we are, making lemonade out of some lemons, driving the 2007 GTI. I bought this car a few months ago, and honestly, I did not want to get this car. This is a car that, you know, maybe I'm speaking for myself here, but this is a car nobody really wants. If you're an enthusiast driver, in this bracket you would have had the Evo, you would have had the STI, and you would have had the Civic Si. And on paper, this car doesn't seem to compare well with any of them. And to be honest with you, I haven't driven all of those cars. You know, this is not a car I wanted. And I feel like this car was like the ultimate compromise between me and my wife. This is a Mk5. We test drove a Mk6, and my heart was beating really fast. I had a big smile on my face. I was completely prepared to hate the car, and I fell in love with it. Ooh, here we go. We got a tunnel. Let's put this thing in sport mode, and let's just see how it sounds. One thing I don't like about this car is wheel spin, though, so listen for that. Woo! Yeah, it goes pretty good. And I wasn't expecting it because 200 horsepower for me, that's, you know, my bike makes about that amount of horsepower. So I was expecting getting this car and having the car feel sluggish and gross, but you know, it's nice. It's tuned, like not tuned, but like it's nice and tight. These seats. This is my first pair of like legit like body hugging bucket seats, and they feel fantastic. You know, it's comfortable, and it's small compared to, I don't know how the dimensions compare to the the Civic Si, but the Subaru, I was in the Subaru, and the car was huge. I got in the car and I felt like the whole car just ate me up. And in this car, you know, like the car is small. I've got a lot of room right here, but I feel in command of the space. And that's not how I felt at all in the WRX. Which is perfect, because on these little narrow Japanese roads, that is, you know, exactly how you want to feel. And you want to have those narrow dimensions too, because, you know, 2 lanes here is like a half a lane in America, so you need to have a small car to really feel comfortable. If I was in America, I would still take the WRX hands down. But after driving this car and being here, you know, I can't say that I would prefer to have the STI over this. Another thing I feel like this car has over the STI is that the interior trim is really nice. It feels really classy. I think a lot of your guy friends, like everybody, would be like, yeah, get the STI, get the STI. But let's say you're going on a date to like a fancy restaurant, like the STI just kind of comes off as a little immature, a little too loud, and that's also where this car shines. Is it's a classy little car. It's just powerful enough to have a good time, and the subtle cues about this car are, you know, nice. Like the gauges are nice and big and responsive. You know, the wheels look really slick, but there's nothing screaming like look at me about this car. So you look cool, but this car doesn't beg for attention, which is nice. As far as sounds go, it's the same. That same theme carries on to the engine sounds. It's not loud, but it makes all the right sounds, especially when you shift. It makes this little burp, and it sounds so good. It makes me smile every time. Did you hear that? I love that little sound. Let's talk about the engine. The engine is a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4, and the turbo is great. There's a little bit of lag when you're, let's say you're at a stoplight and the light turns green, you put your foot on the gas. There's a little bit of lag, but you know, I don't know if I can fault that. I don't know if I could put the blame on the turbo there, or if it's just the drive-by-wire gas pedal that these cars have, because I feel the same in a lot of modern cars. But after that, like, basically the power, it feels like I don't feel like this car has a turbo. It just feels like a strong, naturally aspirated engine. Speaking about the transmission, you know, that was another compromise that I made, and it was another like compromise that turned out to be a good thing, because, you know, my wife, she did not want to get a stick. I was like, okay, let's get the WRX with the stick and the big turbo and the big, you know, the this and that, and she was like, no. She's like, well, actually, to tell you the truth, my wife wanted to get a K car, a brand new K car, 660cc shitbox that would be about 20K out the door for a brand new model, 64 horsepower, and I was just like, that's the one I said no to. So our compromise was this car. It was like right in the middle car, and I didn't want to get. There was a one that we almost bought that was a stick, but because of my wife, we decided to get the automatic, and I'm actually happy that we chose to get the automatic, because this automatic is awesome. This is the best automatic that I've ever driven in my life. It's got the dual clutch. I'm not saying this transmission is like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but it's kind of like the same principles behind it. It's got a dual clutch, so that when you shift your gear, the next gear is waiting for you. So what that means is just super fast shifts. The automatic GTI is faster to 0 to 60 than the stick, which I believe this car does 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, thanks to the 200 horsepower, 208 pounds of torque that this little four-banger makes. Alright, so that's going to be it for the GTI review. All in all, you know, this is a car that I really did not want at first. Everything about this car on paper I didn't like. After I drove it, I kind of fell in love with it. Didn't like the automatic. Didn't think I'd like the automatic. Loved the automatic. Didn't think that I would like, you know, just the little 200 horsepower. You know, like, it's more than enough on this little car. You know, thought I wanted a big car. Turns out that this car is just the perfect size for these streets. So, you know, on paper, this is a car I would like, but I'm actually, you know, I haven't driven the Civic Si. That's also a pretty small car, but, you know, if I was to do it again, I would probably buy this over the STI if I were living in Japan. You know, but that's about it, guys. You can expect to see more Kansai Driver content. I'm going to label these videos as such, so if you're not into the car stuff, if you don't want to hear my personal stuff, or just, you know, the little vlogs, because you know, with the car, that's how you're going to be able to avoid them, is look at the title. If it says Kansai Driver, just skip it. If you're just going to wait for the bike stuff, I've got some stuff that I haven't edited yet that's going to be uploaded. So yeah, so I'm just going to mix this in with my bike stuff, so to help you guys and help me get through that 2 months of waiting to get on my bike. But until then, guys, thanks a lot. You know, I'm just doing this so I don't go crazy in the meantime waiting to get back on my bike. So thanks for watching. Comment, let's chat it up in the comments, because, you know, that's the part I like. So anyways, guys, thanks so much. I'll see you next time.